Perfect. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the chapter 10 of .com Secrets and again section 3 of .com Secrets. So section 3 and chapter 10 of .com Secrets together. And in this chapter, we will be learning about 7 phases of a funnel. So let's just study what are the 7 stages of a successful funnel, right? So key points. So Russell Brunson shares in this chapter the difference between a 6 figures, a 7 figures, and 8 figure business. So Russell Brunson mentions like what are the differences between a 6 figure, 7 figure, 8 figure, and a 9 figure company. It's nothing. It's not their product. It's not how they are serving their customer. It's about the stages of their funnel, how they are treating their customers, treating their users in every single concept, in every single point. That's what matters most. So number one thing in this chapter, in this section, we are going to study the differences between a 5 figure, 6 figure, 7 figure, and 8 figure company. What are the differences? What things make them an 8 figure company, and what things make that company a 7 figure company? And how is Russell Benson has created ClickFunnels, which is a $300 million company generating 12 to $15 million every single month in revenue? And how what are the principles of all those things? That's what we are going to study in this chapter and in the further chapters. So number one thing, concept of pre-framing. So we are starting with the first phase of the 7 phases of the funnel, and first phase starts with pre-framing. So what actually a pre-framing is? A pre-framing is when you give someone an introduction about the whole thing in advance. I'll say like pre-frame is you are giving like situation, and like let me just give you an example. The thing which I just did, to make the impact of this chapter, to give credibility to Russell Benson, I mentioned like he has built $300 million company. Does this chapter matter if I say like Russell Benson is someone who is struggling and making just 40 to 50,000 US dollars a year? That doesn't matter, right? No one cares about that person who is making 40, 50, 60,000 US dollars a year. That's an average salary in America. But he has created a company worth $300 million in 5 years. That's what makes Russell Bunson different from any other person, right? When I mentioned this line, I created an authority, a credibility for the person. Now everyone wants to listen this chapter, everyone wants to read this book, everyone wants to know who Russell Bunson is, who is that person, what are the strategies. If strategies are coming from a beggar, or if the strategies are coming from someone who is making billions, then that matters a lot to us, right? So what is the background? Like you are giving the situation a background, you have to give the situation a background. So he shares very beautiful example in this chapter. The example was like, if you want to ask your wife, like you want to plan a weekend with your friends, and you want to take her permission, like, hey, I want to plan a weekend. So what would you do? If you'll just ask her, hey, can I have a weekend out with my friends? She would say no. She would say like, you don't have time for me and you have time for your friends. That's not fair. So reciprocity is how you can convince her. So well, I think dating and business, everything is 100% safe, everything is 100% relatable. It's up to you how you study the thing. So reciprocity says you can start with like, hey girl, you works too much, like you put so much energy for us every single day, you look awesome, like you can get a beautiful rose for her and things like that. And like she would feel happy, she would be smiling, and then you can, in the end, you can ask, can I have this weekend out with my friends, please? That's what you can do. So that's the concept of pre-framing. So basically, to explain the situation, you'll have to present the pre-frame first. Suppose, that is like, this is also called halo effect in psychology. I studied this concept for the very first time in Thinking Fast and Slow. Like that's where I read this concept for the very first time, and where this concept is explained by a technical term which is halo effect. So halo effect means what comes after depends on like what you are hearing for the very first time. So suppose if I am saying smart, intelligent, handsome, super creative, druggist, alcohol, murderer, and things like that. So that if I'm saying this situation, right, that start with smart and intelligent and ending with murderer and a rapist, right? That's the situation. But if I reverse the same sentence, murderer, rapist, and murderer, rapist, a robber, smart, intelligent, and handsome, right? In both of the sentences there are same words, but they are completely different in meaning. In first sentence we see a smart person turned into a robber and rapist, but in second thing, a robber rapist person turned into a smart person. So that changed the complete meaning of the statement. So that is the concept of pre-framing. And now let's get back to the business. So in this chapter, he shares the case study of Mark Joyner. So Mark Jonas says not all clicks are created equal. I also 100% agree to the person. Why is that? Because if someone is landing on a checkout page, if someone is landing on purchase page, if someone is landing on first sales page, all of these are different. If someone is landing on checkout page, that means that person is very much aware about who you are, what kind of product you are selling, what kind of things you are delivering, and he would be happy. Like he has agreed everything. Now he is on checkout page, and now he is going to find out his credit card, right? But if someone is on sales page, then he doesn't even know why he's on this page, right? He was roaming around some random social media website or something, and now he's landing on sales page. He doesn't even know you, he doesn't know how the product is. So every single landing page visitor is different, every single page view is different, every single click is different. Not all clicks are created equal. So that's a statement given by Mark Joyner, and Russell Brunson explain his story. So Russell Brunson also explains why he feels like all clicks are not created equal. So let me just give you an example over there. So Russell Brunson shares his story. So suppose if someone is coming from a website which says Russell Brunson is a scammer. So he has scammed this money out of people. So he's scamming 10 to 15 million dollars every single day from people's pocket, and that's what he's doing with that money, and buy his product. So if the website has such kind of message, then if someone is landing on his website after this message, then how would he respond? Would he buy his product? No, he's gonna hate him, right? But if he's getting this kind of message, meet this guy, he's Russell Bunson, who has created a $300 million company in 5 years, and has built a company which is generating 10 to 15 million dollars every single month in revenue. And that's how his company is going on. And in the last 2 years, they have helped more than 2,000 people in making more than $1 million, and he calls that 2cc award. And at this point of time, more than 1,500 people have got their 2cc award. And you know what, a couple of people also have got their 2ccx award, which is for generating $10 million in sales. You can find the exact numbers on his website. But he's the guy, he has awesome strategies, he knows how to do the business, and he'll be teaching you everything to you in this $100 product. So sign up. Which looks good, second one or the first one, right? That's why if someone is coming on your landing page after the second message, then that person has a different mind frame, that person has a different mindset. He would be in acceptance mode, right? He would be loving to consume whatever content you have on your page, right? But not the first one. So that matters a lot. No, every single landing page visitor and click is not equal. It depends on who is sharing that message. If suppose if Amitabh Bachchan is saying like Sahil is the best chartered accountant available in Chandigarh service, right? Chandigarh area. And if I say Sahil is the best person available in Chandigarh, so I'm no one, but Amitabh Bachchan is everything, right? If Amitabh Bachchan says that thing, that puts a lot of pressure. So that is the thing, who is saying, what is saying, what is the credibility, what the person is listening. If you, right, are you getting those things? So that is why all clicks are not created equal. So there's a story from Irresistible Pull of Irrational Behavior on pre-framing. So what they did a social experiment, and in that experiment, there was a replacement in a college for one day for a professor. So what they did to, like, there was a class of suppose 100 people. So to half of the people, they handed out their bio, like the bio was handed out to all of the 100 people, but for 50 people it was mentioned that the professor has a cold behavior, and to other 50 people it was mentioned that the professor has a warm behavior. So when survey was taken out after the session, the people who got warm in their handout said he had very awesome behavior, he responded very nicely and things like that. But people who received cold in their handout, right, they didn't give a very good feedback about him, although everything was same. He same credibility, same authority, same credentials, right? He has taken the same class, he treated everyone equal. But why is the feedback different for people? Because of the bio, right? Because when they heard that this person has, yeah, heuristic and halo effect, you are right. So when they heard that this person has a warm behavior, so like they assumed his behavior like that way, right? So you can also call this power of attraction, law of attraction, something, power of subconscious mind, because that thing got in your mind and that's how you are, you see the world, right? So that is the story from the book. And then, so basically, there is also one more case study Russell Brunson shares about his life. So in the initial stage, Russell Brunson did lots of stage selling. He sold his product from lots of different of stages. But what was happening is most of the time, people like who on the show used to introduce Russell Brunson, and most of the time they used to say, "Meet this guy. He's very cool," and etc. etc. He gonna teach you a lot of things about sales. That's it. So that was not a very good pre-frame, right? That was a very general pre-frame. But Armand Morin, who was an expert in stage selling, he mentioned Russell Brunson that the credibility of speaker is done in pre-frame. Half of the sales are done in your first introduction presentation, and after that he worked over that thing, and he created a 3-minute videos to introduce about himself, right? See, there's so much difference when I say meet this guy who is going to teach you awesome things in sales. Meet this guy who has created $300 million company in 5 years without any investment or venture capitalist, and generating $10 to $12 million every single year, and has a fan following of 1 million people, out of which more than 2,000 people are making $1 million every single year with his strategies. He is going to teach you those strategies which help those people in making those $1 million. What's the difference? There are tons of difference. Half of the sale has already been made in the introduction part itself. Now people would hear him very clearly. People would now be straight, attentive, and would pay respect to the presenter because he means something. Because they will now be in acceptance mode that yes, we'll be learning lots of things, right? So that is the whole story about pre-framing. We right, so our 15 minutes of the day is over. In the next chapter we'll be learning about how this thing works in our landing pages and in our ads, and how we actually implement this thing, right? So this chapter is going to be a little bit long. The further section are a little bit long than our previous chapter, so stay tuned. That is going to take a little bit of time and patience. I don't want to take more than 15 to 20 minutes for every single session, so that you can consume during your work, during your workout, or during your journey, whatever you are doing. So don't want to consume more than 15 to 20 minutes every single day. So stay tuned. Any questions or anything you want to discuss, or any experience if you want to share, guys, people who are on the call? All
No,
good?
not for today.
All good?
All
Okay.
good.
Perfect.
Yes.
So people, see you tomorrow with chapter 10, part 2, how pre-framing actually works. Tomorrow we will be learning about hot traffic, warm traffic, and cold traffic, and how you actually generate businesses, how you show your sales messages to different people, and the things which makes an 8-figure dollars company at 8-figure dollars company. Why some companies are just, they just end their career at couple of 5-figure dollars, and why some companies are making 8-figure money. So stay tuned. See you tomorrow.